Welcome to Delta Wing Aviation Academy, where we prepare you for takeoff.
Hello, pilots. Welcome to Delta Wing Aviation Academy, where we prepare you for takeoff. In this short regulation-focused video from our Private Pilot series, we're covering the Private Pilot Airplane Airman Certification Standards, specifically Task A, pilot qualifications. Today's focus is PA.I.A.K4, documents required to exercise private pilot privileges. This task is based primarily on FAR 61.3, which tells us what documents a pilot must have to legally act as a pilot in command. Throughout this video, the exact FAA regulations will be displayed on the screen, so feel free to pause, read carefully, or take screenshots at any time. We'll break down each requirement step by step using simple explanations, real examples, and Checkride-ready tips, with nothing missed. If you're short on time, stay tuned until the end for a quick wrap-up summary. If you find this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue delivering clear, FAA accurate aviation education. All right, pilots, let's begin. FAR 61.3, Required Pilot Documents. FAR 61.3 states that no person may serve as a required pilot flight crew member of a U.S. civil aircraft unless that person has in their physical possession or readily accessible in the aircraft the required documents when exercising the privileges of their pilot certificate or authorization. These documents fall into three main categories: pilot certificate. The required pilot certificate must be carried. A temporary certificate may be used if applicable. When operating in a foreign country, a pilot license issued by that country may be accepted. Government-issued photo identification, used to verify the pilot's identity. Appropriate medical certificate, a valid medical certificate or medical qualification corresponding to the privileges being exercised. Next, we'll break down each of these one by one. Pilot certificate. The pilot certificate shows that you are legally authorized to act as a pilot and defines what privileges you may exercise. You must carry the certificate appropriate to the operation you are performing. This may be a permanent plastic FAA pilot certificate or a temporary airman certificate issued by the FAA. In certain situations, a foreign-issued pilot license may be accepted when operating under FAA authorization or when flying in that foreign country. Let's look at some important note for foreign license holders. Some pilots hold a foreign-issued pilot license while completing FAA certification. Until a standalone FAA certificate is issued, the pilot must carry the foreign license along with the FAA authorization. If you do not have the appropriate and valid certificate with you, you may not act as pilot in command. Oral exams Checkride tip. If an examiner asks, you hold a CFI certificate, but on today's flight you only brought your commercial pilot certificate. You plan to instruct a student. Is that legal? Correct answer, no. You must carry the certificate appropriate to the privileges you are exercising. Since you are instructing, you must have your CFI certificate with you. Second is government-issued photo identification. You must carry a valid government-issued photo ID. Common examples include passport, driver's license. The name on your photo ID must match the name on your pilot certificate. The identification must be in English or accompanied by an English translation, or issued by a country using clearly readable English characters. In practice, a passport is the most universally accepted and recommended form of identification for pilots. Oral exam Checkride tip. If an examiner asks, you have a driver's license issued by your home country that is only in Arabic, Hindi, or Tamil. Can you use that as pilot identification? Correct answer, no. The ID must be in English, include an English translation, or use clearly readable English characters. A passport would be the best option. Third is appropriate medical eligibility. FAR 61.3, It requires a pilot to have appropriate medical eligibility, meaning your medical qualification must match the privileges you are exercising on that flight. You don't just need a medical, you need the correct level of medical certificate for that specific operation. To exercise private pilot privileges, you must have a third-class medical certificate. Without valid medical eligibility, you cannot act as pilot in command, even if you have a pilot certificate and photo ID. Oral exam/Checkride tip. Examiner, question. You had a first-class medical, but it expired yesterday. What privileges can you exercise today? Correct answer. I can only exercise the privileges allowed by the remaining valid medical. If it has downgraded to a third-class level, I may exercise private pilot privileges, but not commercial or ATP privileges. Important note, exam gold. Simply carrying documents is not enough. Your documents must be current, valid, appropriate for the operation you are performing. The FAA cares about the privilege you are exercising, not just the documents you carry. Quick summary, PA.I.A.K4. To legally exercise private pilot privileges under FAR 61.3, you must have a private pilot certificate, a government-issued photo ID, a third-class medical certificate. Checkride tip. If an examiner asks, what documents are required to exercise private pilot privileges? A correct answer would be, under FAR 61.3, a private pilot must have a valid pilot certificate, a government-issued photo identification, and a valid third-class medical certificate. Thanks for watching today's quick ACS review. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue delivering clear, FAA accurate aviation education. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the next video.